Good morning. Happy Makers Monday. Today, BizBuds, we are going to be talking about what to do in the event of an unexpected leave. Last week, we were talking about a planned leave. This time, we're going to be talking about some things that you can do in case you have to leave your business for whatever reason. Maybe, heaven forbid, family members in the hospital, or you get a surprise trip to Mexico, or whatever. So something where you have to leave right away and don't have much time to tie up loose ends in your business. So providing some sort of continuity for your customers without it disrupting your business. So I'm gonna there are a couple things that you can do. The first thing is you can have an away email address message prepped that says, I'm out of the office right now. I will be returning your inquiries at my earliest convenience. Thank you for your patience. Or maybe say like in 2 weeks from now or something like that, just to give you a little bit of time. And that way, instead of going in and having to write that and craft it and think about it, it's just something that's generic enough that you could put in, and it just gives you that buffer so that people aren't, if you're getting like emails about pressing things, it kind of nips that in the bud. So so have some sort of email away message, or an out of office email. What am I, like on AIM? Away message. And then have this, this one is like a little bit more time consuming, but have your processes written down somewhere, almost as if you were making a manual for your business. Like for shipping out orders, do you have a process that you follow? Like, this is what you use for this kind of product. This is what you use for this kind of product. This is, how I package it. This is how I blah, 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 blah. So that if you were unavailable, you could just send somebody this document and they could hypothetically do the shipping for you. So this is a great rainy day project. I don't expect like everybody to be able to do this overnight, but we did a lot of this when we were thinking about hiring somebody, and actually we ended up not. The gal who we hired is actually doing stuff that we hadn't been doing yet as much. So Andy made some documents for uploading things to the various websites, but for the most part, she's doing new things. So I'm probably going to have her make a document of how she does things. So that I kind of know the workflow, I guess. And this is great to have, like, in general, just if you are like outsourcing a task eventually, like if you are a solopreneur right now, one day you might have an assistant, and then instead of scrambling when you hire that assistant, you already have it written down. So it seems like a lot of work, but it is a great like rainy day process. You just kind of write it down almost like a recipe. If you want to include pictures, if you prefer to have a video aspect, what's it called? Loom is a great tool to record, like do a screen recording of what it is, and just pop that video into your Google Doc, and you can just make a folder and it just says like manual or something like that. So emergency way message, have your processes written down. I always try to kind of be ahead a week at least with my emails and my social media posting. I know this is like much, much, much easier said than done. It's hard. Things get busy. But if you can be at least a week ahead, then you just have that much time for a buffer to kind of like wrap your head around things. And I don't think that anybody, if you're experiencing some sort of emergency situation, I don't think anybody expects you to like be posting pretty pictures and charming content. Like, it just gives you a chance to let your audience know so that they don't think you just fell off the face of the planet or forgot about you, So another thing that you can do is add a person to your team. I mean, don't just do it in the event that you might possibly have to leave your business. unattended. But if you do have people in your team, briefing them on what the game plan is if you would have to step away for a moment is a really great way to kind of make sure your buns are covered. So like when I, like, let's say something were to happen and my recovery was like I don't know, if I had a C-section, my recovery would be a lot longer and look different than if I didn't. So that would mean that Andy's responsibilities and roles would change, and I would probably have our assistant be doing more things so that I could focus on recovering. So that's something to consider as well. And then, yeah, kind of having like that plan of attack of if this happens, just a 1-pager document. If I'm not able to come into the office, these are the pieces that need to happen. Like, do you close your Etsy shop? Do you put a banner at the top of your website? What are the things that need to happen to communicate to people that you are not available for selling right now? If you are, oh my gosh, doing drop shipping where somebody can order and then you're not fulfilling it, then you might be able to just keep everything as is. But if you're shipping things physically from your home and you're not there, then you'd probably need some sort of message. Okay, have the information in your contracts about contracts. Oh, have the information in your contracts about emergencies and natural disasters. So if you're doing contract work like wedding stationery or custom portraits, have language in there that covers you if there is some sort of natural disaster or a fire or whatever. Because so when I do custom portraits, I make everybody sign a contract. And it's like you pay and you sign the contract, and then that's what gets you in line to get your custom portrait. And this is so that my butt is covered if something were to happen, like, I don't know, if there was a forest fire or something and we had to leave. I can't control that. So it's something that just, even though I said like that it would be due on May 2nd or whatever, like in the event of something outside of my control, like that calamity clause covers me so that I can then adjust the terms of the contract. I think I got my contract from the A to Z directory, stationery contract, and then I kind of edited and tweaked it a bit to make it work for custom portraits. Okay. And then also the last thing I would say is it's okay to drop the ball. Like, you do not have to show up in the same way. If you are experiencing, family trauma or a natural disaster or whatever, you are a human. Part of the fact that, like, yes, you're a business, but you are a human first. And part of the fact that, like, you're a small business is that there is that human element. You can't automate everything. You can't be a robot, and people don't want that either. And I think I would hope that you would find that people are a lot more gracious than you would think. And I know some things are private and you don't want to share everything, but I know people just want to make sure you're okay. So if you are able to or willing to just put a little note out there and say, hey guys, I can't be there right now. Thank you for your kindness and patience and warm thoughts. I will let you know as soon as we're able to be back in the office. I think you'll find that most people are going to be really lovely about it. And then the people who aren't, well, then F them. You don't need their business. Yeah. So I would say, like, the most important thing is if you have an unexpected leave is take care of yourself. So those are just a couple of things that you can do to make it easier if the time comes. Like, I think the maybe like the most important one would be that 1-pager of things that need to be taken care of. Like putting the banner on your website or whatever. Just like a checklist so that you don't have to think at all. All the thinking is done so that you can just follow the list of checks or have somebody else do it for you. And that might be another thing, is having a place where you store your passwords that's password protected, so that if you needed to, you could share your business passwords with some, like a close friend or somebody, if the event came that you needed them to be able to like get into your email and send the email or whatever. But yeah, so those are some tips and tricks. I know it's kind of a short and sweet, but yeah, I think they're, the big thing is it's good to have your ducks in a row. If you don't, that's okay. Take care of yourself, most important. And your business may look different when you come back. It may look the same. At the end of the day, what's most important is that you and your family are, doing okay. And that's gotta be what it's gotta be, right? So anyway, I hope this was helpful, and we'll be back next week with another Makers Monday. If you would like to check out my blog, I do have a list of what to do for if you're taking a maternity leave or an expected leave, and there's a checklist there, so that might be helpful too. And if you're not already part of my BizButts newsletter, where you get all these tips and tricks delivered right to your email, please sign up. There's a link in my IG bio. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's down below, or if you're watching it on my blog, there's a link at the bottom of the page, so you can find me there. All right, happy Monday. Have a great week.